ranked as the 7th wrestler in the country. And really for Pitt, you got to be happy with how Camacho wrestled there.
Yeah, he put himself a chance to win. Definitely wants a few of those situations back.
Now we'll head to 133 pounds where you have 7th-ranked Micky Phillippi, a redshirt senior for the Panthers, taking on Davin Rhoads, a redshirt freshman for West Virginia. And this is one where for the Panthers, you got to be expecting bonus here.
That's the goal. I mean, anytime you get a ranked wrestler, up against a non-ranked wrestler, these guys, especially Micky, for being a senior, these upperclassmen, they have expectations to put points on the board, not coast, not hang on to leads, and it sets an example for the younger wrestlers, which is extremely important. And that's just really what you're expected to do. And I think they have the expectation for themselves. You see a lot of these guys who are highly ranked. Maybe they win by 1 or 2 points, and you see a lot of them who are upset with themselves. It's very common. The wrestlers are very self-critical in that sense, and it's one of the only sports where you see a guy win, but if you looked at his body language and his demeanor coming off the mat, you'd think he got pinned. It's interesting, that way that wrestlers think, because, they're so self-critical in that sense. But, yeah, to your point, look for bonus points from Micky.
He's somebody who has, at times, wrestled through the competition. I mean, you look at, just dating back for the years Micky's been here, he's had some matches where you're like, how was it that close against that guy? But then he comes out and he beats a guy like a Dayton Fix, so it's you can never count. Obviously, he's in every single match. You don't become 7th ranked in the nation and not be in every single match. But some of these, as you can see, a nice drag by there. You got to see him open up, though.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's what the coaching staff wants, and I think that's when he wrestles his best. He has a lot of offense from neutral. You'll see him go 2-on-1 Russian tie, whether he's at the armpit or 2 hands on the wrist, and he's persistent with that. And some say it's it's one-dimensional, but he can attack from both sides of the body from there, and he can do the Russian tie from both of his opponent's arms. So he has multiple attacks from multiple different areas through that, and it works.
So an escape for Rhoads makes it 2-1. Still plenty of time here in the first period for Philippi. He's got 22 seconds of riding time at the moment.
And there's a 2-on-1 Russian tie again. It looks like he is going key lock. So with his left arm, you see him high in the armpit, and he's grabbing his wrist to create a lock. And he does a shovel technique. So he pushes in with that key lock. He has a lot of leverage. He shovels. It's almost like a shovel motion, like you're shoveling dirt down to the mat, and you see Rhoads just fling forward.
That helps get him another takedown to go up 4-1, and now continuing to ride here as they go out of bounds. Rides his period out. He'll be close to that minute mark already in riding time. He's at 37 seconds right now.
And then he can start to open up, right? Get a takedown, get almost a minute riding time, get a comfortable lead to a point where now he's settled into the match, the nerves are gone, and now he can start to score points.
Looks like you're comfortable just kind of sitting in this position here as the final seconds come off. Micky Phillippi up 4-1 at the end of one. Here's the first one, Anthony.
Yeah, inside arm drag, turns the near hip. That's one thing that Coach Gavin is that's a Coach Gavin inside arm drag right there. A lot of wrestlers, a lot of coaches teach an inside arm drag, chase the hamstring, chase the hip. Keith Gavin almost has a Russian style arm drag. It is that European, Russian, Middle Eastern style where an inside arm drag turn the opposite hip, so you're hip to hip with your opponent, and it's cool to see Gavin's wrestlers performing some of Gavin's techniques in matches.
Had a little blood stoppage here. I believe it was for Rhoads. And Rhoads is going to begin the second period on the bottom. Great crowd here today for this matchup between Pitt and West Virginia, Anthony.
It really is surprised me a little bit. Not many empty seats in here, so be curious to see what the numbers are here, but it really is a good crowd.
Especially when the Steelers are home here today in Pittsburgh, playing a big game against the Cleveland Browns. Yeah, not many empty seats for the backyard brawl. Hopefully a match that they can continue to wrestle each year. You know, this is obviously anytime you get to wrestle, anytime you get any sport for that matter, to have Pitt against West Virginia, I think is awesome. But, you know, the way Tim Flynn's kind of attacking his recruiting too. I mean, talking to him earlier this week, he mentioned I think everybody wants PA wrestlers, but you're starting to see a couple of those Whippio guys going down to West Virginia, and obviously Keith Gavin doing a great job of keeping those WPIL wrestlers here in Pitt as well. So you're seeing some of that. If both teams are bringing them in, it'd be great to see those guys going at each other.
Southwestern Pennsylvania is a hotbed for recruiting for college coaches. It is very competitive in this area here. You got even coaches now from the West Coast, and Iowa has seemed to create a nice pipeline with Southwest Pennsylvania wrestlers or PA wrestlers in general. So it's not just the surrounding schools like Ohio State, Penn State, Pitt, WVU. And then you can, we'll even talk about Virginia and some of the coastal schools. But this is the place.
When you look at the lineups here today, is Philippi doing a nice job of riding in the second period. You got Camacho, you got Philippi. You got Luca Augustine, Nino Bonacorsi, Dayton Pitzer, Jake Slinger, all in the WPIL. West Virginia on the other side, Sam Hilligus, Alex Hornfeck, Scott Joel, Brian Finnerty, all guys you're going to see today here from Western Pennsylvania in the WPIL. So a number of guys staying local as Philippi rides for that entire second period. Again, you kind of look at some of the guys and mention all the WPIL power here in this lineup alone for the Panthers. And obviously PA too, because you got Cole Matthews from Reynolds. A couple hours north.
Yeah.
So Philippi starts on the bottom to begin the third. He's got the ride time point all but secured here. So the escape will make it 6-1. The ride time point 7-1. So now it's crucial. He gets that takedown. Gets the takedown. He's got that important major decision.
Yeah, and this is what we talked about at the beginning of the match. Is I'm curious to see how Philippi reacts this last minute and a half here. What you want to see is these attacks right there. You don't want to see him hold back, just hand fight, hang on the lead. But right now, this is a big situation.
He's going to get the takedown here. He's got 1:12 to go. Do you give an escape and go get one more takedown? I mean, you have the major decision secure, but now you have to ride for a minute. You can't give up an escape.
Yeah, he proved in this match that he can ride. If Rhoads was getting out or getting close to getting out, then I say cut him, but looks like that's what they're going to do.
Yeah, he's out anyway, so he's got to get a takedown here to get the major decision because the ride time point only makes it a 7-point match. Rhoads here, nice position. Can he finish?
Yeah, and this is a big takedown. You see Coach Flynn telling him to bring him back in the middle. Philippi does a nice job of getting the whizzer, and if he can maintain that whizzer. Now, what Rhoads needs to do is get off of that hip there. See, now he's down on the knee. He's trying to attack the knee, but he can't get caught in Philippi's whizzer. Philippi's doing a nice job here.
So Philippi's got 23 seconds. He needs a takedown to get the major decision. Something he did have in hand.
And this is more important than you think. Yeah, he's winning. They can get 3 points, but this is more important than just an extra point on the board. This is this is big for Philippi's confidence, big for how he just handles himself in matches and how he can force attacks, how he can force his offense when he needs to get a takedown. Because if it's round of 12, and he does it, but if this is round of 12 right here and he needs a takedown in overtime, it's the same situation. You have to get a takedown. And that's what the coaches are putting him in this situation for. Hey, you got 30 seconds, third period. You gotta prove to me that you can get a takedown when it's short time and when you need to.
He does it there with a takedown with just 2 seconds left and gets the major decision. So the Panthers up 4-3 with this last second takedown, Anthony.
Yep, just has the leg up on the outside of the body, starts to drive in, and when he drives in, it forces Rhoads to lose his whizzer and kind of put his arms down onto the mat.